Welcome back, everybody, to Grand Tactician, the Civil War. I'm Grumpy Grandpa Gaming, and this is episode 12 of our Federal Spring of '62 campaign in version 1.11 using the A.O.M Mod. Now, last episode did see quite a bit of movement on the map down here, and we are almost completely in control of Virginia at this point. We did see the Battle of Petersburg and the capture of Petersburg, and seeing off the I can't remember which course we fought, but basically the Army in Northern Virginia. And we also did see the Battle of Suffolk. Where is Suffolk? Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So, we are trundling this campaign along. It might be a little bit of a slowdown at this point as I try to get the readiness of all my corps back up to full green and prepare for the siege of Norfolk. But it is now August 1st, so it is time for the monthlies. So current rating of our nation is BB minus. Our debt is now at 824 million. Current economy cycle is recovery with wealth population below average and decreasing. Says our tax revenues decreased by 16 million. That's not good. We didn't construct any buildings last month. And export volume was 125 out with 367 coming in. And core production in the last 3 months was 998 million to change 100, negative 113 million. And we're still lacking all the same stuff as usual, which, as I've stated before, it's a fool's errand trying to catch up on all your shortages. You're just never going to happen. Alright, let's take a look here at finances. So we're spending 67 million more than we are bringing in. So we're going to be cutting a few more bonds here coming up. So we should start seeing some money savings as I did dissolve 8th Corps. So that probably hasn't taken effect yet. So this 367 million army upkeep should be dropping down just a little bit. I'm still trying to figure out why the Navy upkeep is so high, as I've totally scuttled basically the entire fleet except for a few ships. I think it might have been cheaper for me to put them in mothballs. I'm not sure. I'm not even going to give that fleet a perk because it was just there to prevent the Army Northern Virginia from crossing the Akai. Alright. Let's just put this one into drop this entire fleet in the harbor. See, if I put them in harbor instead of scuttling them, actually reduces the upkeep cost better than getting rid of them. So yeah, we do have to do something about some of our spending. Supply depots are 151 million, which is not that bad, but it could be better. I have to go around looking for excess supply depots up in the north I'm not using. Alright, coming over here to intelligence. Alright, rebels are now working on the first conscription act, which is going to be a little too late, but that also doesn't really give them too much either. They're also doing recruitment offices. Current relations with Great Britain are 57%. They haven't recruited any more men, but they started building 16 more ships for some reason. And morale Confederate armies currently is at 65% and change of negative 25%. And they've lost 2 high-ranking officers, General Hughie and Colonel Fulkerson. It says they are on defense right now, which is true because they haven't made any offensive actions except for up here at Dover, which we still have to take care of. So hopefully the siege does not last too much longer, as I want to get that reserve corps out of my rear area. It's annoying that it keeps ending up here on the peninsula. Alright, policy-wise, we're currently working on Industrialization 3, as there's just really nothing else for me to work on right now. So I have to wait for the next chapter to open up to start moving on along with policies. And projects-wise, there's nothing I really want right now, so I am saving money up for a few things. We don't need supply reform, trade warfare, recruitment offices. We really don't need any of this. So take another level of weapon production, which really isn't necessary, as the standardization level just for the Springfields alone is over 70 at this point, I believe. Where did my Springfields go? There they are. Yeah, standardization's at 71 on the Springfield rifle musket, so I'm producing these things that's pretty damn fast. Arm the city as a perk. I think that covers everything for right now. I'm going to do some weapons distribution, do that off camera, and hopefully the next thing we will be coming back for is a battle at Norfolk. So. Alright, still August 1st, and we do have our next action here. Looks like the center wing of the Army of Northern Virginia is coming out to try and defend Norfolk. So they're attacking our 4th Corps, which has 22,854 infantry, called 1,700 cavalry, 39 guns. And they're bringing out 16,156 infantry, 16,050 cavalry, and 40 guns under command of Longstreet. So I don't view this battle as taking overly long. I'm really not. Shows low morale in the 4th Corps, probably because of all the constant combat we've been having around Petersburg and pushing south. But we're definitely taking this fight, so I will see you all on the other side of the load screen. Welcome everybody to the second battle of Suffolk. So we're on the Copper Mountain map, and the rebels are defending Copper Mountain Road on Copper Mountain itself. We're starting all the way back up here, and I really dislike this map. It's all marshes, woods, and ridges. This map is a horrible one to fight on. So plan is for right now, outside of getting my cavalry out skirmishing, is getting the army down to the Sullivan farmhouse here along the railroad, and possibly sending 3rd Division down here towards the Day and Adams farms to make an attack from Coleman's Mill. So I have a feeling they're going to be set up here over here facing north, so I do want to try and get a division in behind. And they don't have any reinforcements coming, so I'm not worried about the maneuvering. So I'm going to get these troops on the move, and I'll bring you all back in once I have an idea of how the Confederates are laid out. Alright, it's now going on 13:30. We do have sighting on the rebels, and they are actually not really sure how they're set up to defend here. Looks like they just have their troops in double line at the moment facing west. So I do have my 1st and 2nd divisions approaching the Norris farm over here, and the 3rd division is still coming south over here at Coleman Mill. So this actually kind of works out for me, as I can start attack on this flank and then have 3rd division come in on this flank once their attention is turned. So I am doing my work cut out for me, because their morale is much higher than mine. Not much higher, but it's high enough where it's going to be an issue, because they're at 50.1 to my 46, and theirs is just going to keep going higher with the victory points going up. So I need to try and get this attack launched today before the morale becomes too high. So while my troops are getting in position, I will not hold you all here. I will be back once I begin the attack. Alright, it's now 1900 in game, and we are quickly running out of daylight. My 1st Division is now basically within spitting distance of the center wing, and I have my 3rd Division coming up on their rear. They've had a lot of marching to do. This started at 0900 or 0930 on the battle map, and it's now 1900, so these boys are going to be exhausted. So I do not believe I will be launching an attack today. So we're going to lose daylight here in an hour or two. It's just not enough time to get anything done. Especially as I didn't realize that my Corps commander was down here with this division, so it's taking forever for orders to get to the other half of the Corps. I thought having Grant over here would speed things up, but it is not. So we're basically, if we can keep this set up overnight, we're in position to hit them both front and rear, and I do have the cavalry brigade coming in to attack along this flank. So I doubt I'll be able to keep them out here on the overnight redeployment. No. I just want Childs. There we go. So it looks like I will be back with day 2 start. Alright, it's now 0600 of day 2, and not quite ready to launch this attack yet. Even though I didn't move my troops overnight, a lot of them ended up being fragmented. So I do have to wait for these fragmentation statuses to come to a close before I do anything. So the only thing that did get knocked out of position was the cavalry brigade, which I did have over here. So I'll be moving them back into position to come in on the flank of this brigade here. But this is basically my attack plan, is to hit them from front and rear with my 2nd Division in reserve of the 1st Division. And I did move their batteries up along the road here to support this battery. We did end up in an artillery duel, taking some losses against Ruggles' batteries. And I've been sending skirmishers out to harass them to keep them from firing at this battery while they were in position. So let's see if the... Oh, crap, they are now right on top of me. That's not good. Whose guns are those? It looks like we're launching this attack sooner than I thought we would be. Moving the cavalry down. I'm going to order every brigade individually, as it's going to take forever for division orders to go out. Pump out skirmishers, start taking on this battery. There's a brigade out on our flank. I'm not a fan of that. Start angling you down that way. Out skirmishers also to help with the skirmishers out already. Huh. You might have skirmishers out from last night. I thought I'd recalled them, but apparently not. Brigade sitting over here on my flank. Battle's starting off a little crazier than I would have liked it to have. battery. Left side of that brigade. Oh, there they are. Took a lot of overnight attrition casualties, but not as bad as the rebels did. At the end of the day yesterday, they only had about 20 casualties from one battery, now over 600. That ain't all from this fighting. Start moving up 2nd Division. You come down this way and help on this flank. They did start with higher morale than us, but it looks like they're getting ready to break already. That is not good. Wow, their morale's now down to 43. They were over 50 yesterday. I do not know what happened there. How did your skirmishers end up over here? Oh, screw it while you're there. Make yourself useful. Brigade, so you take this brigade on. Let's go. Get those carbines to use. And that brigade's already broken. Kershaw. Who is this over here? We might have gotten a little screwed up here as I think our deployment zone is overlapped. Who's wounded? Briggs. Alright, brigade commander, no big loss. Battery. Goes Gibson's brigade. Wait for them to retreat through, and then I'll start pushing this brigade forward because they'll just distract them otherwise. There goes whose battery is that? Ruggles' battery's just broke. Nope, did not want you to go and get artillery pieces. There goes that brigade. There's that Hood. They're going after Pettigrew. Whiting looks like he's about to break. This battle actually just went a lot easier than I thought it would. think our little encirclement went better than I'd actually hoped it would. I still thought we were going to have, because their morale was so high at the end of the first day, I thought we were going to have issues today, and apparently not. Alright, 3rd Brigade, you can start firing whenever you like. You're in their rear. Oh, they got the artillery train through them, so they're in hand-to-hand right now. Everybody up here is just about broken. That battery go finish off Helton's brigade. Good, less that artillery finally stopped retreating through them. We are done up here on the eastern half of the fight. There they go. Alright, we'll just speed this along as we are not going to pursue them. That went a lot better than I thought it would, to be honest with you. Wow. I did not expect that morale drop they took overnight. That was just a little odd. So we lost 591 of our 22,850 infantry, 50 of our 1,600, 1,700 cavalry, 1 of our 39 guns, total loss of 666 of our 25,132 men. Yeah, that number's not ominous. We took down 1,700 of their 16,000 infantry, 150 of their 1,600 cavalry. We got all 40 of their guns, total loss of 2,100 of their 18,000 men. Save this real fast, and then we'll go through the paperwork. Alright, 4th Division was not on the field, because that's the artillery division, and their men are not here yet. 1st New Jersey Cavalry did 350 to infantry, plus up to 356. Definitely caught a bunch of command staff in there. 1st Division. 1st Brigade did 84 to infantry, 12 to cavalry, 14 to artillery for total 110. 3rd Brigade did 182 to infantry, 52 to artillery for total 240. 2nd Brigade did 170 to infantry, captured 21, did 1 artillery for total 197. 1st Division Artillery did 14 to infantry, 47 to artillery for total 62, division total 609. 2nd Division, I think it was only their battery got any action. They did 9 infantry, not 6 artillery, total 15. 3rd Division, 3rd Brigade did 272 to infantry, captured 34, captured 78 artillerymen for total 388. 1st Brigade did 120 to infantry, 17 to artillery for total 138. 2nd Brigade did 359 to infantry, 49 to artillery for total 417. And 3rd Division Artillery did 38 to infantry, 10 to artillery for total 51, division total 994. So it looks like definitely looks like 2nd Brigade of 3rd Division gets the laurels for this combat. Let's see if we got any of their officers. Thought we would have gotten Longstreet because he was out in the firing line for a bit there. 2nd Brigade. Hardy is wounded. J.C. Brown is wounded. So we got 2 of their division commanders. All right. A bunch of separate brigades in this force. As I get closed out of here. So I'm definitely glad I took that entire day to set up that attack. That went off way better than I thought it would. I'm guessing because I was both front and rear at the start of day 2. That's where their morale loss came from. Because that was a big morale hit they took right off the bat. Because they were over 50 on day 1. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. And I will see you all on the other side of the load screen. Right, victory at 2nd Suffolk. The enemies reported suffered total casualties of 2,097 men. There are 260 killed and 493 captured. Our casualties total 666 men, with 163 killed, 179 missing, and the rest are wounded. We captured 889 rifles and 15 guns from the field and sent 505 soldiers down to our prison camp. Keep saying down, up to our prison camps. Looks like Colonel Gibson lost face. I think Longstreet should have lost face. That's 2 big battles in a row that he really screwed the pooch on. We're going to keep this episode trundling along here while this rolls off. I'm hoping to get the siege of Norfolk started this episode, but we got to wait for this depot to get built. So, I'll be back. Okay, I don't know what's going on with the retreat pads of the Army of Northern Virginia, but they were all over here and not ready to get into combat. So as soon as this combat ended, they started retreating. The center is actually retreating the way it should, but the rest of the Army of Northern Virginia is heading towards Richmond. Just, I don't know where they are going right now. So it looks like we're going to have to send 2nd or 3rd Corps to go chasing after them. So they should be retreating south, not north. Fort Brooke is repaired. What else is built? Fort Jackson's repaired. Okay. Gotta figure out where the hell these boys are going. The only thing I have in Washington outside the fortifications is Tradoc, and they only got 1 brigade in training. And that's the last Muir unit. Where are you boys going? I won't hold here for this. Once we figure out where the hell they were retreating to, we'll go after them. Alright, it's now August 6th, and the entirety of the Army in Northern Virginia has retreated onto this peninsula here, which I'm not sure of the name of. I've looked that up. And even the center has actually retreated up in that direction. They originally started heading south and now retreated north towards the rest of the Army. So I do have 2nd Corps on its way to deal with this issue. Probably not the smartest idea sending 1 Corps, but I don't think the morale of the rebel army is high enough for it to be an issue. And I do have 1st Corps on its way from Lynchburg over here to Burkeville to take on the Department of Norfolk. Then I can resume my plans on marching south along to the Virginia border. And we did just lose Fort Thompson, but that's no big loss. I'm wondering why it was taking them so long to even do that. And down the west, we've actually captured Fort Pillow, and we are now bombarding the fort at Memphis. So, Foot's doing some good work for me right now. So, when and if we take this fortification, I will be sending, what corps is this? The 9th Corps down to go seize that city. Haven't looked at any of these corps in a while. is our siege going up here in Delaware. I thought this would be over already. This should have been over days ago, so we're just going to order an assault on this. So I want to get this taken care of before the Army of Northern Virginia retreats onto the Delaware Peninsula. That is not going to be a fun situation to deal with if they are. Then if they're stuck out here on the peninsula, we might be able to disintegrate them either here or out here if that's where they retreat to. And nothing else is going on right now, so I will be back. Alright, it's now August 9th, and it looks like the Army of Northern Virginia has gotten away from me. They are no longer on the peninsula, and I have no idea where they are right now. First Corps did move on Burkeville, and apparently also the right wing was there also, so they both started withdrawing without fighting, so I've ordered First Corps down to Danville along the Virginia border. And Third Corps is now effecting a link up with the 14th Corps. And hopefully we can just keep herding these two corps south of us. Still waiting for 4th Corps to finish this depot. That's another 6 days away. Then we can begin the siege of Fort Norfolk. And we have just won at Fort Delaware. And Morgan's still got very high readiness, so we're immediately going to push him down into the Reserve Corps. Take off scouting. I think maybe the Army of Northern Virginia came over here onto the peninsula, but I hope not. Let's go land there and see if they're there. Alright, we're now in contact with the Reserve Corps, which has 11,141 infantry and 32 guns under the command of Gustavus Smith, and we're bringing in 17,366 infantry, around 700 cavalry, and 36 guns under the command of George Morgan. So I don't see this battle taking all that long, so I'll see you all on the other side of the load screen. Welcome to the Battle of Dover. We are on the Centerville map, or the Swamp Creek map, whichever you want to call it, and they were defending here along the Centerville Pike. About this point, it always seems to be about the objective on this map all the time. So, going to keep this pretty straightforward. We're going to be marching the army straight down to the Stone Bridge here and crossing at this point. I may send the cavalry over to Roberts Ford just to check out this area. That's about it. I'm going to keep this as straightforward as I can, so I'll come back in once we have contact with the rebels. Alright, it's now 0730. I did just have sighting on the rebels. And the AI, as it always does, because they were in their deployment zones, did build these two pontoon bridges here, and they're actually set up defensively. We did lose sight of them, but they were set up defensively along these pontoon bridges. So my cavalry is now in Centerville. I do have one division headed down the Stone Bridge. I have a division headed towards this pontoon bridge, and another division headed towards this pontoon bridge. So I'm not going to be attacking across these until I have this division across and basically on the Centerville Pike itself, on the flank and rear of the rebel forces. It's going to be a while before they get there, kind of spread out. So cavalry's going to be on its own for a little bit here. I don't want to move them any closer, just in case they draw the Confederates in their direction. So 730 on the map now. I should have my forces across by about 1000, hopefully. So I'll be back. Alright, so 0800, and the rebels actually did start moving north towards my cavalry brigades. I did give them orders to withdraw up in this direction. That's even better for me as it pulls them away from the objective. So I'll be able to cross at all my points with no issue, it looks like. But they probably don't see these divisions over here, so the AI, because of this brigade over here, is probably thinking I'm coming across at Roberts Ford. So it just works out for us. Still be a while yet before we have any combat going, so I'll be back. Alright, it's now 12:15, 12:17 now. On day 1. And I do have Prentice's division across. We've seized the objective. And even though these pontoon bridges are built, the computer for some reason would not let me cross at them, so Sherman's having a rough go of it trying to... I didn't think they were going to pathfind through the damn marshes, but they did, so Sherman's division's probably not going to be in time for the fight. I do have Cook's division moving up into the rear of the rebel forces here, and Cavalry Brigade coming in on the flank over here, but for right now this division is on its own, but it should be more than enough to handle this. Well, it doesn't look like they're coming in a battle line, they're just kind of flocking in this direction. I think this is the only corps left with any muskets in it, honestly. Then again, this corps is probably not well armed either, the reserve. Artillery coming on our flank, so we'll send skirmishers out to deal with these boys. Good cavalry be coming in right on their rear. Only a while before this other division comes up. Yeah, they're just now getting their orders to move. Just in canister range. Doesn't look like many canister shots on them, though. Not a very big cavalry brigade, but they are armed with sharps, so this should be good for us here. Let's start pressing on this brigade. Yeah, this shouldn't take too much longer. All these brigades are getting ready to break already. Yep, there goes one. Let's just keep pushing into them. There goes another brigade. These guys are being distracted by the retreating brigades. There we go. There goes that brigade. finally in. Those retreating brigades are now out of our way. And there goes that brigade. That's all she wrote, basically. Gotta finish these boys off. It's funny, it was basically just one division and a cavalry brigade that just took care of this entire corps. There goes that brigade. And there's the retreat, so we'll just speed this along as we're not pursuing. Alright. I was a little worried with not being able to get my other divisions across at those pontoons, but it didn't really matter in the long run. So we lost 376 of our 17,355 infantry, 12 of our 694 cavalry, 1 of our 36 guns, total loss of 414 of our 18,593 men. We took down 900 of their 12,000 infantry, 20 of their 35 guns, total loss of 950 of their 12,000 men. Take a look at this paperwork real fast. Alright, Cavalry Brigade did 51 to infantry, 59 to artillery for a total of 114, and the only other people to fight was 6th Division. Reed's Brigade did 23, plus his detachment did 1 to infantry and 26 to artillery, so his 23 and 27 should be combined. 2nd Brigade did 258 to infantry. 1st Brigade did 397 infantry, so it looks like 1st Brigade gets the laurels for this battle. And 6th Division Artillery did 118 infantry, 6th Artillery for total 126, Division total of 831. Let's see if we got any of their officers. We did not get any of their officers, surprisingly. Okay. Let's get closed out of here. So, I really don't have much to say about this battle. I thought it would have been a little harder with the way my divisions ended up being separated by not being able to use the pontoons. But their morale was not too good either, so the armies of the Confederacy are collapsing. So, I'll be back once we come back to the newspaper screen. Alright, Battle of Dover's ended with the Reserve Corps fleeing in panic. Enemies reportedly suffered total casualties of 958 men. There are 230 killed and 155 captured. Our casualties total 414 men, with 82 killed and 65 missing, and the rest are wounded. We captured 378 rifles and 7 guns from the field and sent 152 men up to our prison camps. And we have defamed Major Gracie, so that would be battery commanders. I really don't care about that. Alright. Well, I might end the episode here, but oh, there we go. We finally found the Army of Northern Virginia. Okay. They are on the Delaware Peninsula. So they have orders to move across. Let's give them halt orders. So, want to get his readiness back up into the green before we do anything about this force here. Though they might just retreat away or disintegrate. I'm going to hold 2nd Corps here until I get 12th into position up here. Right, Salisbury. We should be able to disintegrate the army in its entirety because it's trapped here on the peninsula. We should be able to. Honestly, we should be able to force it to surrender, but the game won't do that. Actually, yeah, we'll keep this episode going just a little bit longer and see what we can do here. So I'll be back. Alright, it's now August 12th, and we do have another combat here, but we're not going to take this episode. I wasn't tracking this corps. This is Loring's Corps. It says unknown unit. But ran into him here and trying to get down to the Appalachian Valley. As rightness of the Army of the Tennessee is finally up into the green, I did begin moving them south into the valley, and the 7th Corps ran into them. The Army headquarters did, and 7th Corps is right there. So, we'll end this episode here, as we're going to have a pretty busy opening to the next episode. So, if you're a new viewer, returning viewer, if you're not yet subscribed, please think about hitting that subscribe button. If you do, remember hit that bell icon to be alerted when the next video comes out. If you like, I am no longer, I'm just about to say I've been accepting brigades, but I'm no longer accepting any brigades into the Army, so, I do not view this campaign as lasting too much longer. So, I will see you all at the next episode. Stay grumpy.